Hello, welcome to Yoga with Paige. Today we will be moving through a little warrior sequence. So whenever you're ready, unroll your mat and let's get started. We will begin in mountain pose. At the front of the mat, feet hip width apart, a slight bend in the knees. Rolling the shoulders back, palms can face forward or towards the thighs. Starting to check in with the breath here. Maybe closing the eyes. Just taking a moment to notice how we feel today before we begin this practice. And slowly tucking the chin into the chest. Rolling the neck to the right side. And gently behind and over to the left. Making small, gentle circles. Warming up the neck. And reversing. Remembering to breathe. And bring the head back up to center whenever we're ready. And on the next big inhale, raising the arms above the head. We can open the eyes if they were closed. Palms come together, rolling the shoulders back and down. Inhaling and exhaling to find a slight bend from the top of the rib cage. Reaching the arms over to the side of the wall. Getting a nice stretch in the side body. And inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, bending to the other side. Remembering to breathe. If we can't breathe, then we're going too far. And on your next inhale, back to center. Releasing the hands out, extending them to the sides like a T. Keeping a nice bend in the knees. And just warming up the spine, sending the arms out in front. One and then the other. Maybe finding a little movement here. Starting to warm up the spine. Maybe making little airplane arms, doing whatever feels good here. Like we're swimming. Warming up the spine, the shoulders. And when we're ready, extending the arms back out to the sides. Inhaling, lifting the arms above the head, palms come together, and exhaling, hands come to heart, Anjali Mudra. Taking a nice deep breath here. And we exhale to fold forward, hinging from the hips. We can place the hands on the hips if we would like. Keeping as much of a bend in the knee that we would like. Letting the head hang here. Maybe shaking the head out, yes or no. Releasing any tension. Grasping opposite elbows, letting the body hang, letting gravity pull you towards the floor, grounding through the feet, all four corners. Finding a gentle sway here. And gently releasing the elbows. Inhaling to lift up halfway. Hands can come to a block or the knees. Extending out through the crown of the head, keeping a micro bend in the knees. And exhaling to plant the hands in front, stepping one foot back and the other for plank, coming down onto the knees, untucking the toes, drawing the shoulder blades together, and slowly lowering down to the belly. Releasing the forehead to the mat. Keeping the hands by the shoulders. On an inhale, pressing up through the fingers. Just a gentle back bend here. Just opening up the spine. And on the exhale, lowering the forehead down to the mat. On an inhale, taking another wave up. Opening the chest, bringing the shoulders down, and exhale to bring the forehead to the mat. One more time on an inhale, squeezing the legs, firming through the tops of the feet, and exhale back down. Tucking the toes. Coming onto the knees first, and then lifting the hips, sending the hips back for downward facing dog, walking the hands out a little bit, spreading through the fingers, start pedaling the legs, warming up the backs of the legs, maybe finding a little movement here. Grounding through all of the fingers. And shifting the weight to the left foot, raising the right behind, keeping the hips square to the front of the mat, and bringing that leg through, stepping it in between the hands, planting it in between the hands. Turning the back foot, facing the side of the mat, keeping heels in line, raising up on an inhale. Bringing the arms above the head, pressing through the outer edge of that back foot, squaring the hips to the front of the mat for warrior one. Keeping the knee in line with the ankle or slightly behind. Inhale. And exhale, opening the arms for warrior two. Sending energy out through the fingertips. Feel how strong you are here, pulling the shoulder blades together. And on the next inhale, reaching forward and back, peaceful warrior, letting the back hand travel down the leg as far as feels comfortable. And exhaling to windmill the arms around. The right comes to rest on the knee, the left extends over the head. Reaching over the head, gazing at the fingertips, still pressing through the outer edge of the back foot. Taking a nice deep breath here, holding, firming through the legs. And bringing that left arm around, pivoting on the back foot, planting the fingertips on either side of the right foot. Lowering down to the knee, untucking the toes. If we have long legs, we might want to scoot the right foot out a little bit, making sure that the knee is never over the ankle. Inhaling to look forward, sinking into the hip, finding a nice hip opener here. Taking a few deep breaths, trying to sink a little bit deeper with every exhale, keeping the chest nice and lifted. Another inhale, and on the exhale, shifting the weight back, flexing the right foot, pulling the right hip back towards the back wall. We can keep the right knee bent if we would like. Keeping that foot flexed to protect the knee. Holding here for a breath. And inhale and exhale, shifting back to low lunge. Inhale and exhale, shifting back to half split. And shifting back to low lunge, planting the fingertips, tucking the left toes, lifting the knee. Find a gentle sway here on the tippy toes. A little rock, massaging the foot. And stepping the left foot up to meet the right, folding over the legs. And on the next inhale, lifting up halfway, flat back. And exhale, planting the hands in front of the feet, stepping one foot back and the other for plank, lowering to the knees, untucking the toes, keeping the hands underneath the shoulders, spreading through the fingertips, and lowering down, tucking the elbows by the ribs, releasing everything to the mat. On an inhale, grounding through the fingers, lifting the chest, cobra. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lifting the chest. And exhale, lower back down. One more time, lifting the chest on the inhale. And exhale, lowering back down, moving with the breath. Tucking the toes, lifting up to the knees, and then lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Pedaling through the feet, finding a little fun. Here we go. And grounding through the right foot, lifting the left behind, keeping the hips square. And bringing that left foot, planting it in between the hands, turning the right toes out. Inhaling the arms above the head, keeping both heels in line with one another, squaring the hips to the front of the mat. Keeping the knee over the ankle. Rolling the shoulder blades back. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, opening for warrior two. Gazing over the left fingertips, you got this. Inhaling, reaching front and back. Pressing through the outer edge of the right foot. Gazing up at the fingertips. Nice big breath. And on the exhale, windmilling the arms around. The left comes to rest on the knee. Feeling a nice stretch. And bringing the arms back around, pivoting on the back foot, planting the fingertips on either side of the foot, lowering the right knee, untucking the toes, opening up the chest for low lunge. Checking our alignment here. If we have the long legs, might need to readjust a little bit more. Inhale and exhale, shifting the weight back, flexing the left foot. Inhale and exhale, shifting forward back into low lunge. Lifting through the chest, sinking into the hips. And exhaling back to half splits. One more time, back into low lunge. And this time, planting the fingers on either side, gently taking the left leg back to meet the right on the knees, sending the hips back for child's pose, opening up the knees as wide as the yoga mat, keeping big toes together. Reaching out with the fingertips, melting the heart into the mat. Taking a few nice deep breaths here, checking in with the body. Reaching out with the fingertips, feeling a nice shoulder tricep stretch. And slowly raising up, tucking the knees together, rolling up through the back, keeping the sit bones on the heels, rolling up through the back, ending with the shoulders, giving the shoulders a few rolls. And forwards. And untucking the legs, extending them out in front for staff pose. Sitting up nice and tall. Flexing the feet and taking the right leg into the left, the right sole of the foot onto the left inner thigh. Flexing the left foot, keeping the hips square and folding over that leg, getting a nice hamstring stretch. And when you're ready, raising back up, switching legs. Keeping the hips square, flexing the right foot. Can always use a strap here to pull ourselves if we can't reach the foot. Or we can grab onto the ankle. Keeping a nice flat back. And raising back up, extending the other foot back out. Coming up to the front of the mat, the feet at the front of the mat. We extend the arms out by the sides in front of us, not by our sides, in front. And slowly, with control, lower down onto the mat. The head being the last thing, arms by the side, bringing the soles of the feet behind the sit bones onto the mat. Raising the right leg into the air, crossing that ankle over the left knee. Bringing the left leg into the air and interlacing the fingers behind the thigh. Pulling the left thigh into your chest, flexing the feet to protect the knees. Maybe pressing gently on the knee with the elbow, opening up the hips. Breathing into this stretch. And gently releasing, switching sides. Left ankle over right knee. Keeping the feet flexed. Keeping tension in the legs. We're actively stretching here. Keeping awareness in all parts of our body. And gently releasing, hugging the knees into the chest, giving them a nice little squeeze. And gently rocking up or finding your way to a comfortable sitting position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Namaste.